Alright guys, so we're heading out for a quick ride with the Akaso, and I guess we're gonna see how this looks and sounds. Now, a few things that I have noticed, and these could get fixed possibly in a firmware upgrade. Number one is that we're shooting in 4K 30 right now, and the reason for that is 4K 30 allows us to have the normal stabilizer on it. Turn that on there. See, there we go. Yeah, the normal stabilizer. And if you go to 4K 60, the normal stabilizer seems to disappear, and you're either stuck or left with just normal, so no stabilizer, or you're left with super steady, which means that it has to process afterwards. So that may be for a future video. Right now, they are working on that feature because it's been a little hit and miss, at least in my experience, on both iOS and on Android. So hopefully they can get that working. And we're going to start this up. And I didn't bring my sunglasses, so visor down, visor mostly down. Here we go, and let's go for a ride. We're just going to go for a little rip around the block, just to see how well this works. Good there. And it's nice being able to still get out for rides, for sure. But the key for you guys is looking at that stabilization. And again, I went out earlier this exact same route, and that's how I realized that 4K 60 didn't have a stabilizer, as I shot the whole thing and it didn't work. So we will have some footage that we'll put up of, just to show you how much wider it is when there's no stabilizer on versus what it looks like now, because now you're definitely seeing it not as wide, let's put it that way. So the width of the video is going to be a little more constrained versus if you were having it unstabilized, which makes sense. I'm hoping though that when they do the super, that they can possibly limit how much it crops in on the image, because I really do like that wide shot. It's really nice when I get like both my mirrors in the shot, which usually when the stabilizer's on, you just don't get that. The other thing that you guys are really going to take notice of, and my visor needs to be without question, it needs a good cleaning. Anyways, is the audio. So I am running just the standard, the Akaso USB-C mic. When I had this, when I got the, I can't remember now, Brave 6 maybe, or Brave 7, one of the two required their USB-C microphone. So I actually, it's funny because I actually ordered one myself, and Akaso sent me one when they sent me a updated version of the Akaso Brave 7. They sent me another mic, so useful because now I can use it with the 8. And fire truck. This way you guys will be able to hear. Now, one of the things that the Akaso mics always have issue with is when there's a lot of audio coming in. It's loud, right? So, you know, it's not the sound of the motor, sound of the wind, sound of me talking really loud. It's just going to get bombarded because there's nowhere in the software, at least that I could see, either the app itself or in the settings on the Brave 8, I couldn't find anywhere that talks about like the mic sensitivity. So, you know, if it is peaking, which it can for sure, where you can go to lower that so that, you know, the mic sensitivity is not as high, because maybe you're like, yeah, I'm peaking the whole ride because my bike's too loud or it's windy or whatever. So I prefer it to have the audio down a little bit. I can't see that anywhere. So I think, like, if I bring my visor up, I don't know if it makes much of a difference. but I don't know if that extra wind noise that kind of comes in through the face opening behind where the face shield normally is, if that extra wind is going to cause it to start peaking, because the previous one definitely had issues like that for sure. And I'm not going very fast right now. I'm about 60 kilometers. So just kind of watch for that. The other thing is, like, when I'm stopped like this, like the audio, as far as I know, should sound probably really good. Everybody stopped here because nobody knows what's going on. I'm gonna go here now. Yep. Small town, right? Everybody's like, oh, we'll wait, no, wait. And then nobody goes. It's kind of funny. Anyways, this is the little stretch back to the house, and we should be able to tell, or you guys should be able to tell, if at least the stabilization is decent. That's what I'm hoping for, right? The other thing too that is nice with a wider shot, which I have a feeling that I'm not going to get with this, is that with someone who has a motorcycle like me, where they have a big visor, when you get a nice wide shot, you know, you get all this area out here that's not behind the visor. When you're cropped in, you're seeing through the visor, which means that if it's dirty or if it's scratchy or if it's whatever, you guys see all that mess. Which is sad for you, because we don't want you to have to look through that. At least I don't think so. And we get some sun shining right at us right now. So you guys will see how the camera deals with that blazing sun shooting right at us. And I figured out, for those of you that have watched my little riding videos this fall, I've kind of figured out how to get myself in a scenario. We've taken out, we used to have stairs at the back here, so we've gotten rid of those now. So now I just kind of come in here, right? Kind of come up, because that's fun. I'm gonna have to move this table, I think, and then kind of get around here. It's good, bouncy, so it's also really nice for you guys to see how the stabilization works. My wife would never do this. She's not as comfortable on the gravel. Alright, and this is where you watch too. No front brakes now. Okay. Don't let the bike go away. That's good. It's a little gravelly there. It's okay. Oh, stall. There we go. Yay! That's cool. It works. Does its job. Alright, I am crossing my fingers that this is recording. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, because like I said, I've done it already and stabilizer wasn't on. My hope is that it's all gravy and that the audio is working. And see my quad lock? Yeah, it's working very good. Alright guys, let's go in, and I'm gonna watch the video, and we'll go from there.
All right, is that something in the shot? Yeah, it is. That's going up there, maybe. Yeah. So you guys have seen the video in normal stabilization mode. So what do you think about the stabilization? Now, I think the stabilization is actually decent, but again, I would love to see it just be wider. It crops in so much for that normal stabilization that you lose so much of like the bike itself, and especially like for me that has a windscreen in the front, there's not a whole lot else that you're seeing outside of that, especially when you put it up against a GoPro when it's in ultra wide, or you're putting it up against like an Insta360, that you get like a tremendously wide shot. But the stabilization is decent, and you know, if this was under the $200 mark, I would be like, okay, that's not a bad option. And the audio is hopefully gonna get better. It's still okay, but I really feel that if you are getting a whole bunch of just loud noise. Like we got our motor running, you got me talking, we got wind. The auto gain inside the camera, whatever software that's doing it, needs to either have a manual switch so that we can go in and be like, let's just crank that down for sensitivity, or they have to play with that auto gain to just allow it to manipulate faster or more accurate, because it does crackle still a bit, and you can hear when it kind of hits that crackly and then it comes back down. It gets a little better. It didn't really matter if my visor was up or down. Didn't really matter at all. If it was getting that little bit of extra wind, it was fine. But it's okay at best. It's okay at best. Again, when you compare it to the microphone on an Insta360 or a GoPro, those are considerably better for sure. So, it's a hard one right now, and I do know that software-wise and even firmware-wise, this is early, right? The version of the camera I got, they even said there's going to be some firmware updates, so I hope that's going to remedy stuff. The app for iPhone that I have is still in developer mode, so there's still bugs that I'm reporting back and forth to them. This is going to be another one that I'm like, you need to work on this, so hopefully that helps. I even have it on Android, and that's having a lot of bugs that I'm firing back and forth to them. Again, hoping that it makes hopefully a better product for both you and for me, so that this is useful. And I was going to take it out to do their super steady shot, I guess it's called, and you actually have to process it through the actual phone. So you turn it to super steady shot on this, which you can do when you're doing 4K 60 and 4K 30, but you can't do it in 4K 60. It looks just as shaky as it normally is, wide, which is good because you get that wide shot. And then you actually have to process it through the Akaso Go app, and that's where it actually implements the stabilization. But it was hit and miss. I tried it, and in one shot it actually worked fairly well. Like I was like, oh, that's really good. It cropped in. I don't think it was cropped in as much as normal, so that's kind of nice. But on the next shot that I had, I ran it through twice, and I got the crop, but I didn't get any stabilization with it. So again, this is something that I had talked with Akaso, and they said that they were working on to try to figure out what's causing that. So right now, I'm gonna say hold tight, because still a fair bit of bugs if you're gonna use this for motor vlogging. The software has some fine tuning that it needs to go through, without question. And as we get firmware updates and we take this out to do more testing, we'll let you know what our thoughts are. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you there. More Akaso stuff possibly coming up. If you guys are interested in anything, leave comments and questions down below. If you're like, hey, can you try out this, or hey, can you check this, or hey, can you? We'll do a little question and answer session on this camera, and that's it for today. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Oh, just so you guys know, this is the mount that I have. This is where it was. This is the little USB, so it was just plugged in to the side here, and the microphone is right here. You guys may or may not be able to see it, but it's right there. So I am getting some wind protection from this, but it's still peeking out on me. And the other thing is that you have to, when you have it in this little case, which you have to have it in, you have to take the door off. You have to take the door off. Now, it's easy to take off. You take the door and you just kind of lay it so it's perfectly flat like this. So it's like on a 90-degree angle, and then you just pull it straight out, and it unclamps, and then you pop it back in that way and fold it back in. But the door can't be on when it's in the case, because you can't pull the flap down to get access to the USB-C, which of course is what you plug your mic into. So, all right, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave comments down there. If you have any interest or questions or concerns or whatever on this camera. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.